You've heard it, I've heard it, we've all heard it. It's probably the most misused, abused, misunderstood, and misapplied passage in the Bible. It goes like this: don't judge me. Jesus says, judge not. But is this all that Jesus said? Is this really what this passage and the rest of the Bible teaches? To never judge anyone, anything, ever? Okay, here's what Matthew 7:1-5 actually says. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when there's a log in your own eye? You hypocrite. First, take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Okay, there it is. So I ask you, when you read beyond the first two words, is this really a prohibition of any and all judging? No. This is clearly about hypocritical judging, and that's pretty obvious when you get to the you hypocrite part. It's even more obvious that this is not a blanket prohibition on judging when Jesus adds, first, take the log out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Jesus is not teaching us not to judge. He's actually teaching us how to judge. Namely, don't judge hypocritically or condescendingly, and make sure your motives are pure. Not convinced? Fair enough. Think through this with me. If Jesus meant for us never to judge anyone, ever, then anybody who steals, lies, cheats, or murders shouldn't be confronted. In fact, things the Bible expressly prohibits, we shouldn't even mention to anybody doing them because that would be judging. That means you shouldn't say or do anything if somebody steals your smartphone or slaps your best friend for no reason. You wouldn't want to judge after all. See how absurd this gets when misunderstood? It gets even more absurd to think Jesus meant for us to never make any kind of judgment whatsoever. Why? Because it's impossible to live out. Every second of every day, we got to make judgments. What time to go to bed, what clothes to wear, what words to say, what person to date, what friends to hang out with, how fast to drive, what food to eat, Instagram or TikTok, PlayStation, Xbox, DC or Marvel, Android or iPhone, Chubby Checker, Psycho, Belgians in the Congo. Hey man, we didn't start the fire. Sorry. Fact is, we are faced with making choices almost every second, and choices require making judgments. If we're prohibited from making judgments, then we're prohibited from making choices, which means there'd be nothing wrong with a parent just watching his 1-year-old crawl across a busy highway. Hey man, don't look at me. I can't choose because I can't judge. Preposterous nonsense. Finally, if there's to be no judging, then we shouldn't have laws, judges, or care about justice. But those are clearly things affirmed by the Bible. 2 Chronicles 19:5 says, He appointed judges in the land, and said to the judges, You judge not for man, but for the Lord. Now, if God didn't want us to judge, then why did He appoint judges to judge? Makes no sense. God cares deeply about justice, and justice requires righteous judgment, which is why Deuteronomy 16:18 says that judges shall judge the people with righteous judgment, and why Leviticus 19:15 commands us to judge our neighbor fairly. Same point Jesus is making in Matthew. Proverbs 24:23 says partiality in judging is not good. Did you hear that? Does it say judging is not good? Negative, ghostwriter. It says partiality in judging is not good. Fly by denied. And here's the kicker from John 7:24. Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. I could go on and on here, folks, but it's already clear and consistent throughout Scripture. There's righteous judging, fair and impartial with pure motives, the kind the Bible affirms, and then there's unrighteous judging, unfair and hypocritical with impure motives, the kind the Bible prohibits. So, my jovial judges, just judge justly, joining Jesus' judicious jurisprudence. Anyway, I think we have, beyond any reasonable doubt, demonstrated that the claim that Jesus teaches us never to judge or the Bible prohibits any and all judging has been justifiably debunked. Adios.